Hello everybody, I'm SJM. Welcome back to some Valhelsia 5. A little bit of bits and bobs episode here. Not going to do anything too in deep today. I changed up my flooring in here. We found a cherry tree, so I've got some cherry wood on the floor here. I think it works out good. Little tatami mats at the entranceway here. Got a little pathway leading over to where I've started setting up all of my Ars Nouveau stuff. So we'll go over there and take a look at that there. I now have an ender chest and an ender pouch for doing while I'm out and about exploring there. We can send our resources home. Just one hiccup I noticed on my first time that I used it, because this area is not chunk loaded. We'll have to find a way to do that. There is a mine cart with chunk loader. This is probably what we'll be going for, just a mine cart with a chunk loader from the More Minecarts mod. Don't know much about the More Minecarts, but it's a pretty simple recipe. Just needs some 4 crying obsidian, so that doesn't have a doesn't have a recipe unto itself. I've got 2 that I've taken from a couple of ruined nether portals. I just got to go out and find a couple more ruined nether portals and we'll be able to chunk load this area. The other option would be to build the digital miner from Mechanism. I will be doing that eventually, just not to do this certain thing, because there's a... oh, it's not even in here. With the Mechanism, it's called an anchor upgrade. That's why it didn't show up. But so if a machine can take an anchor upgrade, then it will remain chunk loaded, and the digital miner is one of the ones that this can be used in. Actually, let's take a look at this. Now it doesn't show the uses, so I'm not sure which ones it goes into. Little pathway, so this is the Ars setup area. I've got my alteration table for, I've thrown some, just 2, I've upgraded my armor, so I now have slot 3. I put a warding 3 on thread on this guy and a magic capacity 3 on my leggings for now. Not too interested in getting too deep on getting my armor upgraded at this point, but that is what it is. We've got our enchanting apparatus with the 8 pedestals there, and then our full setup here for doing the essences. This is all manual for now because I was just been poking away at it while I was building all of this stuff and got a little bit far into it. I've got the Starbuncle shards to set up Starbuncle automation for this. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but eventually that's where we'll be getting to. And I'm setting up a source battery here now for our ore fortuning setup here. So I just got 5 source jars here, almost all full and set to go. I've got the garden all set up down there with the agronomic source link and a couple of source jars there just for storing up while these relays work. So I've got in my inventory here the source relay. You need the splitter version to pull from multiple jars if you're going to be doing that and I'll show you the setup here because we're going to be going up and doing our cows here right away as well. So good old belt of levitation, we can levitate on up here to our cow section. Now, the one thing with the relays is that they can only go about 30 blocks or so. So I'm not sure if I put a source link in the middle here, if it'll extend all the way over. I'm just going to actually, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to make this cow section a little bit smaller to start. So give me a second, I'll be right back. Alright, I've got these guys moved in a little bit closer. This is all measured out, should be exactly 30, so we'll find out if it's going to work or not. But let's just get some of this breeding started here. I think I can only do a couple for now, and we'll let that do its magic. With the relays, you do need a Dominion wand to start setting up how to link all of these things together. So we'll just position, relay set to take from. So where you're going from and to. And then if we look at this, it says it's taking from 3 locations, but no send location set yet. So we'll just click on this guy and run over to our battery. Too far away. So what I'll have to do, wonder if the Y level is messing with it. Let's see if we can't get it a couple closer. And I'll have to reset the one from the agricultural one. So going from this one. There we go. And then we'll come over to here. This should be well within range. There we go. So now we can see this is sending source over this way, but once all these 5 get full, then they'll start generating backup source up there for us. And I want to get everything going. I think I'm about halfway collected up on all of the ores. I'm going to do a full 1,000 ore test on this setup here just to get a better idea of where our numbers are at for that setup that I did in the last episode. So as I mentioned before, I had been out and about looking for all sorts of new things. So in the newly generated chunks, because I had been out this far before, so I decided to go out a little bit further again. And I ended up finding one of the shrines from one of the new mods added in. So we're just going to head on over to Luke's town there, and then we'll go back to the shrine and I'll show that all to you. But first things first, I'm not going to be doing this at night. So let's have a little nap. Get set up. Oh yes, and I have my spells set up on a wheel now. Now that I've got more spells to choose from, it's a real pain in the butt using like a cycling buttons, so the wheel just makes everything a lot easier once you get used to where the positions of your spells are. So this one I use for digging a 2x2 tunnel, this one for silk touching blocks, this one just for basic block breaking. I could show you my mine, I guess. Yeah, we'll show you. I do branch mining as a habit, as the way I pretty much do all of my mining. So I did a good batch here at 0. And then I ran into a big cave system. And so I just ran around the cave system. But down here around -33, this is pretty barren down here, so I'm going to abandon it. But you can kind of see on the mini map there when it appears, that's what the branch mining looks like as you go along. So every 3 or so I'd go in and I'd dig out a 1 hole, and then if I see any relevant ores that I want, then I dig in, dig them out, and just get rid of a lot of the deep slate by replacing it there. And then my water column to get back up, because you can climb down ladders pretty quick, but you can't go up ladders very fast. So that's why I have this here, and basically just been lazy to add in a piece of soul sand at the bottom to make this faster, but eventually I'll get around to doing that. Now let's go check out the air shrine, because I've lost my buff for it anyways. Don't need these hanging out. Let's get this just in case. Okay, we're going to go to this area here. And then, where's the air shrine's right over here. So this is what the air shrine looks like. Set ourselves down nice and easy. It's got some of these white things around it and those, and even though I don't have an elytra, just using the glide spell, there we go. So I now have this buff. Let's get out of the water before. But movement speed, and then it grants me a draft. This is a little bit annoying when you're running around in the world. Like, say I want to stop here. Yeah, you have to be running, and then why is it not kicking in? It was pushing me around like a little burst of air behind me before when I was at my base. Not sure why it's not doing it now, but only because I'm on camera, of course, right? And the other thing that I found, and I was looking around in these new areas because I wanted to find one of the underground shrines as well, and I was really hoping this place would have had it, but I haven't seen one down there yet. Maybe it's a little bit too low, but this has to be the biggest cave I've ever been in before. Now this here in itself is not looking really that amazing. It ends pretty much on the other side of that lava pool there. But it continues on that way. I drop down in here somewhere. There's a neat little biome here, which I'm not sure what it is. Let's get rid of that guy because he's moving pretty fast, but this was huge, 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 huge. So there's all this. I've just lit it up as I come down this way. I haven't even started exploring it. Oh, I did activate the monster box. Didn't mean to activate the monster box, but here we are. That's fine. I can go back and kill those guys a little bit later. All this, keep going, keep going. Finally came down to this end here, and I thought, oh, okay, that's it. And then the only other interesting thing from here was that there were a couple of little thing down there. Looks kind of like a dead end there. And then that was headed down that way. Looks like a dead end there. I also set up my light spell on a hot key. So in my bar, my light is on my 4. I just set, there's a hotkey that I could set for it. I put it on C, which coincides with crouch. So it looks a little bit funny when I cast it, but it's better than switching to your light spell and then back to either your harm spell or your silk or your dig, whatever you happen to be doing. It went down here and it actually turned this little corner here, so I'm like, oh, we'll just poke my head in there. I think a skeleton shot me from in there, which is the only thing that tuned me into it. But this section, if you see on the minimap, it keeps going and going and going, and I haven't even gotten close to getting to the end of it yet. Take you down, and then likewise on this side it kept going and going and going. It gets a little bit thinner into more traditional cave type area there, but it does keep going there, and this big area here splits off into different directions as well. So I'll be messing around in here for a few more hours getting the rest of that 1,000 ores that I'm going to be doing for my test. But yeah, I did want to show this off a little bit because this was quite the find. Let me see, we're right on about 15 minutes. We can go back and take care of that monster box together. How about that? Do a little bit of this Ars Nouveau cheese, even though I've only got the basic harm spell. I haven't even upgraded to get a better damaging spell yet. And does like really handy stuff from afar. Actually, the monsters from the monster box might have despawned. Yes, they did. That's fine. If you see the spawners in the world and they're a little bit reddish colored, those are monster boxes. When you get close to them, they activate and a few random monsters pop out, but they've got improved loot, is the one thing about the monster box monsters. We've got, oh yeah, this is the other little branch that I don't know where it goes. I just threw a couple of little pieces of light down there, but I'll end up going down there eventually when I come back this way. And like you saw, there's a whole other section back off that way, which I don't know where that goes. This is where I came in from. I think this originally I came into here from a ravine, I want to say. An underwater ravine is what I meant to say. Yep, this is where I came into this place. Was from this underwater ravine right here. I was just poking my head around here and there and everywhere. If I needed to catch a breath somewhere, I just dug into a wall. Okay, we need to get up now. Thank you for not dying. But anyways, that is it for this one. Oh, I'm going kind of the wrong way. So I can come back here and go down to the cave there. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to notice, or forgot to mention about making the ender chest and the ender pouch. The color of wool you use to make it will initially set the color channels on it. So you can have these in, what's 16 times 16 times, no, 16, yeah, 16, choose 3. So there's a whole bunch of different combinations you can do to have different channels for the ender storage mod. And just whatever color you use, it'll be triple that color. So I used a piece of black wool because I had a whole bunch of black wool from this illager place. Let me take you over there because that thing was interesting unto itself as well. I haven't seen it before.